We're here today to introduce another book. So this one was one that was self-published by the Abbey. It's called Building Community, Living and Learning with the Sangha. And it's by Venerable Bhikshuni Master Wu Yin and the nuns of Luminary International Buddhist Society. So this is a picture taken from, in 2018, we had the Living Vinaya in the West course here at the Abbey. So this was a photo taken at that with the Venerable Wu Yin, some of her Chinese students here, and then some of us who are also her students, also included in the photo. So the book has two parts. The first part is written or spoken by Venerable Wu Yin, and it's some of her talks that were published in a Taiwanese magazine about building community and, helping the Sangha form, helping explaining the relationship of the Sangha with the lay people, how the Sangha should organize itself, all these kinds of topics. Okay, and then the second part was an accumulation of very short vignettes by Venerable Wu Yin's students who talked about their experiences with her and little things that may have happened in their life whereby they learned something very strong in, sometimes a short encounter. Okay? So I thought that I would do one one talk from reading from her talks about the Sangha, and then do another talk reading from her students' tales. Okay, so the first one. So there's a lot of different topics in this first section where she talks about the Sangha. I'll just briefly tell you what they are. She talks about monastic communities and society, about cultivating capable individuals within the monastic community, a monastery's leadership and religious atmosphere. So it's not just a group of people housing together. A Dharma transmission and sustainability. Yeah, so those are the main topics in the first section. Okay, and the second section, she talks about seeking directions to swim upstream. These are the vignettes by her students. Reviving after being extinguished. And the undetermined outcome of causes and conditions. Okay, so here's one from the first section about a monastery's leadership and religious atmosphere. And here she's talking about mutual respect between the monastics and the laity. So this is something that's quite important. So Han Yun, who lived in the 8th and 9th century, was a renowned Confucian writer, and during the Tang Dynasty, and he said, in learning teaching, some people have progressed further than others. In professions, some people have specialized mastery. When monastics and lay people collaborate, each of them have special abilities in skills and learning, and each person has their strengths and weaknesses. Both parties should practice mutual respect and not distinguish between superiority or inferiority. When monastics and lay people collaborate, their relationship is akin to that of colleagues, and they form a fluid community through their mutual interactions. So she's talking when we work together. For example, we're going to be building the Buddha Hall. So that's going to be a project where the monastics and the lay people work together to build the Buddha Hall. And everybody's going to bring their own talents to that. So, I don't know about any of the monastics here, but I don't, Venerable Losang has some construction ability, but the rest of us, So we're going to have to rely on, the lay people to really help us with the construction, okay? And so, and also, in inviting generosity, in, all the different things that are required to build a Buddha hall, the lay people and the monastics need to work together. It's not just one or the other. Okay, so this is the context that she's speaking in. For a religious organization to accomplish the great purpose of propagating the Dharma in modern society, it needs professional knowledge in various secular fields, such as computer technology, architecture, the fine arts, the legal system, or audiovisual production. It is not possible for the monastic community to specialize in all these areas, so it must bring in the talents of householders in order to bring its projects to completion for the benefit of all. So our architect is wonderful, a lay practitioner. We'll have a contractor, who I hope will also be wonderful, who will be a lay practitioner. Even to make this book, we depended a lot on some of the Abbey's lay supporters. Tracy did the whole layout, and somebody else took the picture, and a lot of people did the proofreading. So just the production of the book itself is a collaborative effort between the Sangha and the lay people. There is no problem with monastics and lay followers interacting and collaborating to spread the Dharma. However, in that situation, if we have the perspective of monastics being superior and lay people being inferior when collaborating in specialized fields, then monastics without expertise would be directing householders who possess specialized knowledge. This situation may create difficulties. It's also stupid, isn't it? If somebody has specialized knowledge about a particular topic, it doesn't matter whether they're lay or whether ordained, we follow the people with that knowledge. Okay? It's very clear. Otherwise, if you just say, monastics should be in charge of everything, then you have people who don't have those specialized skills telling the people who know what to do, which is stupid, isn't it? Yeah? So it's really something, that's why she's saying really relating with, on an equal level and with mutual respect for each other. Are monastics definitely more capable than householders? Can we do everything better than householders? She says, I have reservations about this. Okay. If monastics know that something is not their strong point, they should adjust their attitude and role, put themselves in the position of students, and humbly request instruction from those who have the knowledge and ability. This is not self-deprecation, but respect for others' expertise. It makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah? Okay, so coming together in the Dharma to accomplish the mission of the Three Jewels. For instance, when recording a Dharma program, the primary speaker may be a monastic. This person may need to cooperate with a variety of professionals. When the director or camera person asks the monastic to do this or that, would you haughtily reply, I'm a monastic, how can you order me around like that? Okay, these people specialize in the production of high-quality programs and are putting their utmost effort into helping us produce a good recording. With this in mind, monastics have to cooperate with professional lay people, and by working together in unison, we accomplish the mission of the Three Jewels. We must keep in mind that the mission of the Three Jewels has always been accomplished collectively by all beings in the 10 directions. It is not possible for one person to do this alone. As the saying goes, coming from the 10 directions, going out into the 10 directions, together we accomplish the matters of the 10 directions. Since our purpose is accomplished collectively by beings in the 10 directions, we must employ human expertise and energy coming from the 10 directions. These are beneficial activities and worthwhile endeavors for humanity. Why would there be a question of superiority or inferiority in status when engaging in it? Okay, so we may know something about a particular field, but if we have a lay volunteer who comes who knows more, we should learn and listen to that person because they have the expertise. Even though we may have a little bit, they have a lot more. Okay, then being mindful and protecting sentient beings' roots of virtues. At the Luminary Buddhist Institute, I often caution the monastics. Spiritual practice must be focused inwards on transforming and cultivating your own good qualities and virtues. Regardless of how many years you've been ordained, how many sutras you've read, or what levels of realization you've attained, when collaborating with lay people, you must never be arrogant, thinking that just because you're a vegetarian and a monastic who keeps precepts, you are superior to laypersons. Yeah? So again, our Dharma practice should serve to make us humble. As Lama Yeshe always told us, our mantra should be, I am the servant of others, I am the servant of others. Yeah, so we shouldn't go around with our nose up in the air. In generating the aspiration to offer service in the Buddha's presence, everyone is equal. If, because of your status as a monastic, you develop a sense of entitlement and self-importance, you will harm your own Dharma practice. Arrogance is an affliction. If we develop that, we're going away from the Dharma, not towards the Dharma. Holding the spiritual arrogance that regards monastics as superior and lay people as inferior will imperceptibly cause lay people to feel neglected, excluded, or even disdained, and will result in them losing faith in the Buddha Dharma. This is a situation that we never want to bring about, because we want to encourage people's faith in the Buddha, not discourage it. Therefore, when monastics collaborate with lay people, we must not only avoid having spiritual arrogance, but also carefully protect and support their roots of merit. After all, people from society who come to the monastery to offer service or accumulate merit do so because of their aspiration to connect with the 3 jewels. We must carefully protect their virtuous mind and cause them to develop faith in the 3 jewels, so that in the future they will study and practice the Buddha Dharma with joyous effort. Okay. And then there's one last section called Practicing the 4 Ways of Gathering Disciples. When collaborating with lay people, monastics should respect lay people's expertise. From the side of the laity, in addition to resolving to protect and support the Buddha Dharma, they should also be aware that the Sangha jewel is worthy of respect. This is among the basic rules of conduct for Buddhist disciples. How do monastics and lay people mutually respect each other? The Buddha taught that this should be carried out through the 4 ways of gathering disciples: generosity, pleasant speech, encouraging people to practice, and consistency in your own behavior. In other words, practicing what you preach. These 4 methods to attract sentient beings are Mahayana Buddhism's key principles for connecting with humanity and turning the wheel of Dharma. A Buddhist monastery is not a lay residence. It represents an organizational structure for sharing the Dharma and offers many opportunities for monastics to interact with society at large. As such, we first have to open our hearts and welcome a broad range of views in order to build consensus. When everyone is united in heart, mind, and energy, an organization or group can then achieve its greatest impacts. Okay? So she talks there very much about monastics respecting and appreciating the expertise of lay followers in certain fields in which they specialize. Yeah. In other situations, she will talk about the lay people respecting the Sangha because they hold the precepts. Okay? So it's a system of mutual respect. If one party or the other comes in and says, we're superior, then we won't be able to work together for the benefit of spreading the Dharma, because we'll be fighting over, well, you don't respect me enough, and you look down at me, but I'm superior because da-da-da-da-da. No, I'm superior because of d-d-d-d-d. And then you have all this argument and stuff like that. Whereas as Buddhist practitioners, we should respect every living being. Even the bugs, we should respect them. They want to be happy and not suffer. Just like us. If we respect that wish in ourselves, we should respect it even in the bugs.